Well, good morning, Savannah, Georgia. Good morning. It is a bright, sunshiny day in Savannah this morning. We are here this morning on the vulnerable community, and we are here with our illustrious, one of our good friends. He's running for Chatham County Commissioner, Mr. Orlando Scott.
I
And
can't. I can't hear.
hold on, me turn your speaker up, there, Orlando.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? There
Yeah,
we go. There we go. I'm sorry.
we we got Orlando Scott with us this morning. We're gonna let him introduce himself and tell y'all a little bit about himself, and then we're gonna get into our question and answer period. But Orlando, go ahead and introduce yourself this morning.
Well, thank you, brother Jerome, and thank you for having me on Vulnerable Community. I'm so glad to be here with you this morning. Again, my name is Orlando Scott. I am a candidate for Chatham County Commission in District 7. Now, District 7, if you're not aware, it includes Pooler, Georgia, Bloomingdale, and the Berwick area, which is Berwick, Southbridge, all of those unincorporated Chatham County areas. So it's a vast coverage of the district that we have in District 7. Goes all the way out to New Hampstead, around Bloomingdale, but most of pretty much all of Pooler, and even a little piece of Garden City. So it's a very important piece of the county, and it's where a lot of the major development is happening. I'm born and raised in Savannah, Georgia. Went school here, graduated from Savannah State University. Um, Professionally, I've been in retail management most of my career. Spent time in the Carolinas with a previous company I was with, 10 years. Actually, I was with Jerome. I don't know if you remember Circuit City Stores back in the day. Yeah, I was running stores for them, district operations manager for the Carolinas, right before they went under as a company. So ended up moving back here. Did extent as a district manager for Dollar General stores, Advanced Auto Parts, and currently I'm with Murphy USA. And I run the coast region here, pretty much the coast of Georgia, 12 stores for them. So very exciting times right now. I'm a father, husband, brother, community leader, elder in the church. I attend Overcoming by Faith Ministries. I'm actually over the men's ministry. So, yeah, but very important aspect what I do in the church. I'm again an elder in the church, and do various different capacities with the ministry there. But
Great.
I'm sorry.
No, I just saying great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Which brings me to where we are today. So right now, I'm currently running for the county seat, which is currently held by Commissioner Dean Kicklighter. He's been in office. He's completing right now his 5th term. So one of the most tenured public servants in the county. I believe he is. I think Van is pretty close to him, but this will be his 24th year actually as the commissioner. But before that, he was the mayor of Garden City. So he's probably the most tenured public servant in the county. But I say that to say this. The race that we have upon us is not an easy one. I ran against him in 2020, garnered almost 47% of the vote. So we came very close, had a lot of support, but we fell a little short. But, I feel right now in 2024, this is the time Um, it's what West Chatham is progressively changing for the better, and we need a commissioner in office that has vision and has foresight for what's coming ahead of us. And I'm quite sure we're going to talk a lot about the platform, what's happening over there, and all of that. But I'm excited to be in this race. I'm excited to be in this election cycle. We, we have Kamala Harris on the ticket, and I'm riding with Kamala, no question about it. And so it's very exciting times, and the importance of getting out the vote. We got to make sure we do that. So again, that's a little introduction about me. So glad to be here with you and spend this time with you, Brother Jerome.
Well, you just did the whole show. We ain't gonna worry about nothing else. No, just kidding. But why now? Why you ran before,
Right?
So why now?
So great question. Great question. So I've been in West Chatham over this side of the county for now 14 years. Is it this year? Actually, this month here. Actually, we moved in September of 2010. We'll make 14 years. There is a lack of leadership. There's a lack of visibility by our current commissioner in this area. And the time is now. We have in West Chatham, if you, and I'm pretty sure you're aware, all the growth is happening on this side of the county. Fort Wentworth, which is in District 8, Fuller, Bloomingdale, and the unincorporated area of West Chatham. That's where the growth is. And we need leaders now to really to be thoughtful about the future of this area, starting with infrastructure. The roads can't even handle what we have now. I'm gonna give you an example, Jerome. Pooler right now is probably about 30,000 in population, right around that. They are projected to top out at 50,000, which is in essence a third of Savannah. That's pretty big. There is no infrastructure development around the roads, on the parkway, on the main connectors from Benton Boulevard to Pine Barren Road. Nothing is happening. The only construction you see is on the interstate right now, which is, it will help getting us to West Chatham if you're coming from Savannah or from other areas, but it doesn't help with navigating in the areas that we live in. So we need someone right now that's pounding down the horn, that's making sure we have the funding that's available, working with our state, federal partners to secure monies, because there's not enough money in the budget, whether you're talking about the municipalities or the county, to fix the infrastructure that we need fixed. So we need someone now that's building those relationships federally, state. We need there's a T-Splosh that we didn't pass a couple of years ago, that I'm sorry, we need that money, and we need someone to sell that, to make sure it's explained correctly, how it's going to be used, how it's going to benefit the counties and the different areas. So the time is now. I feel I'm the right person for the job. It's my honor to serve my community, especially when there's a lack of leadership, lack of engagement that's happening right now in this district. I've never, Jerome, I've never met my commissioner in 14 years living out here. That's an issue. I'm out at almost every event in West Chatham. whether it's a Pooler Chamber event. I'm not going to say I'm out of every event, but I'm at quite a few. And I've never seen them in the unincorporated area. I've never seen them in the municipalities that we serve in District 7. And that's an issue. That is an issue. So now is the time to answer your question. I don't think it's I think it's long overdue. Everything happens for a reason. I didn't get in 2020, but right now we have to do it, and it's very important.
I hear you. Now you started talking about infrastructure,
Yes.
and you're talking about the influx of another 20,000 people, around another 25,000 people.
Yes, sir.
What about the water and the sewage in that area?
Well, that's a part of infrastructure. That's a part of infrastructure. So ever since I remember as a little boy, playing that I grew up in the east side of Savannah, where it floods all the time. We're in a low lying area. We didn't even have the drainage that we have now. So it always flooded. It always flooded. And I remember playing in the puddle water and doing all that and thinking we were on Tybee Island somewhere. So This has been I wouldn't do that now because I know what's in the water. but this has been an ongoing problem that we've had in our county and you know this, you're from here, so you know this, for years. And the issue is, until we fix it regionally, the problem will never be fixed. Because if I fix Pipe Makers Canal on the west side and don't fix the other canals on the east side, it means nothing. It's not going to fix the overall problem of the county. So when I'm thinking about, drainage, we need a regional plan. We need one of the things that I'm going to look at, and I already spoke with a couple of municipality leaders throughout the county, is having a regional task force, taking it out the hands of the mayors, taking out the hands of the county chairman, but each municipality will have at least one representative, will have engineers, will have county members that sit on this regional panel and really come up with a concrete plan of fixing the drainage issues that have been a pain point in our county for years. And until that happens, until we take politics out of it, because I'm gonna tell you what's happening, Jerome, and it's happening on the west side. So the county commissioner is blaming the cities. The city's blaming the county. No, that's their responsibility, and no one's taking accountability for nothing. And we're doing the best that we can, but until we come together as a region, this is a regional issue. You brought up the statement about water. So Hyundai plant says they need what, 3 million gallons a day? And it's okay. So how is that? First of all, how did they get away with? But that's a whole nother story. But but what is that going to be? What is going to be the impact of the surrounding areas? So the people that live along, going out to Bullitt County, going into the unincorporated areas in Bloomingdale. I've spoken to independent well owners that live close to that plant that says their water level is going to drop 12 to 13 feet, I believe, once they stop pumping all of this water.
It may drop deeper than that.
It really okay. I'm not an expert in that field, so you're probably right. You're probably right, but that's an issue. I'm happy for the economic development that we're seeing in West Chatham, but not if it's going to impede on the lives of our residents. That's an issue, and shame on Governor Kemp for pushing all of this through back door, and it's going to have a detrimental effect environmentally on our neighboring residents. And they're going through suits now and whatever. I hope we hope they get that figured out. But yeah, there's some issues around our infrastructure, and that's just not roads. That's, like you say, water, that's sewage, that's school. Do you know, Jerome, there isn't a high school in the Pooler city limits? There's not one high school in the Pooler city limits.
No, I know.
And that comes from, now we're running out of land, and or the land is so expensive, the county doesn't want to pay for it. So, but that goes back to my point of having foresight as a leader. I think the mindset, um, a lot of leaders in the past was just building their come, but we got to plan for the future, and infrastructure has to be the foundation of our community, and it's an opportunity right now.
Well, I tell you this, when it comes down to Hyundai, it's amazing the things they got away with.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's the governor pushing the issue.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show, Jerome.
Yeah, a whole nother story. We're not going to get started. I ain't going to get started on that one.
I know you, and I know with the labor piece.
But now, you said earlier that your constituent, your opponent, has not been seen in areas where he should have been seen. How do you figure he had stayed there so long?
Probably another subject in another hat you aware of, voter apathy, where people just, they don't care. I mean, for the longest we voted on someone's name because we know their name, or because they went to school with my daddy, or went to school with my mom, but they really don't know the person, and they don't know what they vote for, what their issues are, and we just go into the polls and pull a lever. Oh, this is Kicklighter, or this is Johnson, or whoever, and just pull it. And I'm not making a statement about it, but I think that's the issue, and people are waking up. I really feel, I'm very optimistic, and I'm speaking for my area, that people are waking up. They're tired of being ignored. There is no way that you can understand what I thought were the issues until I started talking to people. Has completely changed my views of what the issues really are, because you don't know until you talk to the common voter, to the common resident, what the true issues are. You can think by doing it from your couch or doing it from the boardroom, but until you actually get out and engage with the residents, you don't know. You don't know. So to answer your question, people vote how they vote. They vote on name, they vote on who, I know this name, their family been here or whatever. But we have to dig a little deeper when we're electing candidates, even on the different levels, where you're speaking of the federal level, state level. You got to know the person. Character, leadership is character, courage, and commitment. And if you don't have those three traits, then you're not a leader, and you're just an office holder. So I don't know why He doesn't do that. I don't know why he doesn't return calls or from the municipality leaders. He doesn't return calls. So, but that's neither here nor there. I can tell you going in one of my initiatives is to have better engagement. I have ideas around town halls, around newsletters, about monthly electronic communications. Nobody wants to have darts thrown at them. I get that. Nobody nobody likes that. But some of that comes with the territory, is what we signed up for. And but my thing is, as long as you're sincere about getting issues resolved and being open and honest, because we're not miracle workers. We can't do everything. There's only a limited amount in our budget. So, but we have to be honest with the public and make sure that we keeping that first and foremost.
Right, right. Well, accountability is something that our voters have not been doing. Like you say, they put a person in the seat and let them sit there. But we've been pushing the accountability piece for the last 3.5, 4 years now. We have to hold our politicians accountable, and in saying that, you're going to be one of the ones that we're going to be holding accountable. And we have to make sure that we can go back and say, well, hey, you didn't do this, or you said you were going to do this, and now what's happening? And in turn, the politician and the other hand have to say, well, I'm doing this to make this happen. Have to give a reason for not having it done by doing it, whatever. So we look forward to working closely with you on that. It's about time we take a quick break.
Okay.
And we.
Hello, I'm Richard Coleman, and I'm running for the office of Sheriff of Chatham County. And when I'm elected, I promise to inspect what I expect. Chatham County, it's time for a change, and that change is me, Richard Coleman.
I'm Patty Hewitt, and I'm worried about our future.
Last one?
I think about my grandkids and the belief that they deserve every opportunity. And what you deserve, what Coastal Georgia deserves, is someone who cares more about their community than about corporate profits and big pharma.
I'll see you later.
All right, thank you. Small business owners and hardworking Georgians are the heart of our community.
Have a good day.
Not CEOs, not lobbyists, not shareholders. But who's taking care of them? It's time to ask yourself, what do you want from your government? This is our year to stand up against what we know is wrong. No more DC politicians invading our home life. No more racism that kills dreams and spreads violence. And no more corporate greed at the expense of workers' rights and our environment.
So what would be the most meaningful help to you?
I've spent the last 8 years working behind the scenes, mobilizing our communities for positive change. And while that is really important work, I can't stand by and allow the same tired politicians to run this country, the same ones who've neglected the real needs of Georgians. I'm ready to take our seat in Congress so I can fight for you and your families.
I vote for you.
Thank you, my darling. I love you. This isn't about party lines. This is about voting for a better future for more Georgians. Enough is enough.
Oh, I mean my friend, your Savannah homeboy, Clarence Thomas, made sure that I don't go to prison.
So Julius is in there talking to Trump. Ooh, I'm telling.
All right, we're back.
Hey, hey, y'all step.
Commercial.
Hey, y'all step the production game up. I like that. I like that. And I especially like the two candidates that you have on there, Richard Coleman and Patty Hewitt. It's good people.
Well, we try to give everybody a fair shake and get them on the show to talk about what it is, but it's what it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have to make sure that we get the information to the vulnerable community so that they can understand what the problems are and what the facts are.
That's right.
If we can't do that, then we're not doing our job.
That's right.
We have been looking and digging and trying to make sure that we can get the right information so that when they go to the polls to vote, they can vote with a sound mind, knowing that they're voting for somebody that's going to be there to help them. Speaking of which, this Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be at 714 MLK Boulevard, and we're going to march from there to Ralph Mark Gilbert's museum. And we're going to be marching with the ministers. And then after that's over with, at 2 o'clock, we're going to pull a caravan through the city of Savannah. So, we're inviting everyone to come out and be a part of it and get to meet some of the people that's running. We invite everybody to be there, but if they don't show up, that's not our fault. We invite everybody.
Well, I definitely plan to be with you. When we spoke about the motorcade and everything the other day, so I definitely plan have it on my calendar. I do remember talking about that. I did put that on my calendar. But yeah, so definitely, and you're absolutely right. You got to get in front of the people. You got to, you have to be able to verbalize what that candidate represents. It's not just voting for, because in essence, they're representing you.
Right.
They're representing you at the table. And when you put in the wrong candidate, then you have these results, especially at the local level. I mean, a lot of times we get excited about the presidential race, the governor's race. But here's the thing, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris can't fix your potholes in your community. It takes that local person to get stuff done, or that tree that's dangling. You need that local person. So these races are very important, and you need to understand the values of these candidates and what they stand for. We have most of our public servants in the areas, they care. Most of them that I know a lot of them. I know probably all of them. And most of them care. You do have some bad apples out there, but that goes to show you that we can't just vote on name. We can't just vote on who you went to school with or who your mom and daddy went to school with. You need to vote on values and what they stand for, and do they support what you believe in.
Well, that is so true, and the importance of our local officials is more important, because what happens locally, we can push from local to the state level.
That's right. That's right.
State level, we can push it to the federal level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then when you said it just now, when you putting somebody in office, I have a saying that was given to me a long time ago, and it's a simple one. If you're not at the table, sitting there at the table, you don't have a seat at that table, then you on the menu.
You're on the menu. I like it.
It's best for you to have somebody sitting at that table on your behalf, knowing what it is that you want and that you need, and not have nobody at all.
Mm, mm. Ain't nothing like good backup. You know, when I was a kid and you had your people that had your back, your big brother or your friends that had your back, that you know they were going to look out for you and they had your best interest. And it's like that, you know, in this political thing. You need someone at that table. So you're not on the menu, but you need someone at that table that's going to represent you and that's going to speak up for you. And not it's a lot of self-interest stuff that's going on. And I don't know if they have I don't know if the constituent is the priority in what they're doing. So you're absolutely right, Brother Jerome. You're absolutely right.
You know, we can go through. We go and we if we don't indulge with our constituents, how do we know what they want? If we don't go out into the neighborhoods
You don't.
and we can't see what's going on in the neighborhoods and the problem and the poverty and the blight that's going on in the neighborhood, you can't see it if you ain't in the neighborhood. So I like what you said earlier about you going out and you being in different areas and going out and talking to your people. That's major. That is major in my book.
I had so when the campaign started this year, and I noticed, especially in Pooler, there were a lot of transit people that came from up north that's since moved down here. And I've always in my mind thought that everyone's excited about growth. Everyone's excited about new business coming to the community. Everyone's excited about having another Chick-fil-A or whatever, or another family. But that's not the case in a lot of. That's not the case always, because a lot of the residents that have moved down here have come down here for retirement. They've come to get away from the hustle and bustle. Now, this isn't New York, this isn't Atlanta, so we don't have the traffic like that. But they've come here for serenity, for peace, and they're okay with it being slow because they've lived their life in the cold with a lot of traffic. And I, you know, and after speaking to so many residents that felt this way, it gave me a different perspective, because you know, and I think there has to be balance. You have to have growth because they're the economy drivers, the engine drivers, and you got to have money coming in. So that's fine, but there should be balance. Do we have to cut down every single tree in the city and build it out? I don't think so. I just don't. I just don't. So but going back to your point, I didn't know that until I spoke to the residents, until I spoke to enough people who felt that way. You know, so yeah, you have to be engaged and you have to listen. A lot of time we download, especially as politicians in public service, but you have to be able, communication goes both ways. It's speaking and it's also listening. And we have to listen. We have to listen.
You know, when you say listen, a lot of time there's a difference between listening and hearing.
Mm.
And
Talk about it.
and when I tell people all the time, especially in my congregation, when you hear something, just don't hear it. You know, think about what it is you're hearing. Then go dig it up. Find out what is being said to you. If you're reading something, look deeper than what you are reading. so that you can get a good understanding of what it is that's going on around you and to you, so that you know what the outcome is going to be.
Mm. And I love the point that you make, that we can't take things for surface values. We have to dig deeper. Even with the candidates, we have to dig. We have to dig and find out what their true values are,
There you
what
go.
they believe in. You know, what do they stand for? Do they stand on principle, or is it self-serving about them? Because that's a lot of that is going on right now also, where it's self-serving. But you have you can't take things for just surface value. You have to dig. And because I think we've gotten ourselves into this political trouble, even on different levels. You know, I we're not even going to talk about the president thing. We're not
Yeah.
going to talk about, but who, why do you value that in a leader that has no moral values, that's not ethical, that and I don't want to make this a Donald Trump thing, because you might have some Donald Trump supporters on the vulnerable community. I don't know, but this
Yeah.
guy, this guy from the very initial start of his campaign in 2016 all the way to now has almost lied at every turn of the point. He lied in his first day in office when he said he had the most people at his inauguration, and they doctored up the photos. And he lied on the last day when he was giving power, when it was supposed to have been a smooth transition of power to Joe Biden. And he told the people, we rallied them up, got them angry, and told them go hang Mike Pence. That's not who we are. We're better than that. We're better, and we have to stop looking at the celebrity and really look at the true issues in that person and how they affect us, because they do. In presidents, Congress, the Senate, state, everyone plays a part. Everyone plays a part. I was so happy to see you had Patty Hewitt commercial on there, and I've gotten to know her. I've gotten to know Richard Coleman. Both of those individuals are fine individuals, and I've gotten to know the real person, and what they stand for. And I know Patty was on the show last week, and y'all did a great job with that. But if you get to know people, what they truly stands for, then you can go on election day and vote in confidence that I'm picking the right person. So you get your sample ballots, you do your research on these candidates. Do your research. Everything's public now. Go to the website, go to their Facebook page. I could tell by your Facebook posts what you stand for. So it's simple, it's out there, but do the research. Do the research and make sure we're putting the right people in office.
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly, because, like you said, we go by name and go by Uncle Harry said this, that person, but all that. But well, we got a couple of minutes before the next break. Tell us a little bit about your family and being the family man.
Family. So let's see. So I'm married. I've been actually next month in October, I celebrate my 25th wedding anniversary to my wife Tanya. She's very wonderful person. Definitely one of the best decisions I've made in my life, married, and I have
Mine.
hey, got to make sure to do that plug. But two wonderful children. Olivia, she's 21, She's a graduate student now at Mercer University. Very smart girl, serious about her books, a theater major, working to get her MBA. She's on full scholarship for an MBA at Mercer University. My son just graduated this year from homeschool. Is Andre. He's 19. He just turned 19. 18, 19, 19, excuse me. And he's actually about to go into the automotive field and about to start in training with that and get his skill there. So my wife is from Savannah. My parents, my dad has since passed, but my mom's still with us. Both of them are from Savannah. My dad was a shipyard foreman at Georgia Pacific for pretty much all of his work career. My mom is a City of Savannah retired worker, worked for the city for well over 30 years. And I have 5 siblings. No, 4 siblings, 3 brothers and 1 sister. But we're a close knit family. On my mom's side, they used to travel and sing all the time throughout the Southeast. I don't know if you're familiar with Lester Lake White.
Yes.
That's my uncle.
Yes.
So that's my uncle, and his sister, Kathleen, that's my mom. So yeah, so we come from a close-knit family. They sung, traveled. I'm a regular guy, church guy. I outside of the things I do for the church and community and work, I'm pretty much a homebody. Some would say introvert, but I'm working on that. But yeah, but our family is really close knit. Even on my wife's side and her family, her mom is here, just moved in the next neighborhood by us, and my wife has a twin sister. My wife's twin sister is, the Olympic runner Noah Lyles.
Yes.
That's her stepson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Tasha married Noah's dad, Kevin Lyles. Yeah. So we're real close with them, and but yeah, all of our families, we get along. For holidays we come together, and I'm a simple guy, family guy, and we have a lot of great people, in our family.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, it's about time for us to take another quick break, and we'll be coming back and trying to get the rest of your story. So we'll be right back after this quick break.
Hey there. Are you ready to amplify your voice and embrace your passion? Tune in to Our Black Media Network, where community comes first and every story matters. We're here 24/7, delivering powerful content on everything from financial literacy to the latest in sports and mental health. We are unapologetically real, reflecting the heartbeat of our community with programs that inspire, empower, and drive change. Join us on all major media platforms to celebrate our unique voices and advocate for the change we want to see. With over 50K monthly viewers, our network is your go-to destination for authentic, engaging content. Be a part of the movement. Be a part of the change. Tune in to Our Black Media Network today and let your voice be heard.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
we're back again. You know, on our Black Media Network, we have hosted clever shows that we run 24/7, and I think you're going to cover a lot of the areas on that show. You're gonna be on a lot of different shows that we
Yes,
have coming up. You and Patty, and
that's right.
you know, but we're going to be looking forward to getting the information that's needed, and it's well needed in the community because we have some elderly folk that trying to get out to vote, and we're trying to provide the ways for them to make sure that they can get to the polls to vote. And we're doing a whole lot of different things in the neighborhood because you know that's what we do.
I know you do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And but you know, when we're talking to folk, it's always good to be able to tell them, well, you know, I know this person and I know what this person stands for. And if we can't tell them that and they're looking to us for information, we're in trouble.
Right.
So that's why we do the vulnerable community. Make sure that everybody is well informed. Now, once you get in office, how do you perceive the fact that you got the folk that you got to work with? How do you intend to work with those folks?
And again, it goes back to the point with just being open, available, and transparent. Coming into office, many people may not know the county commission, they have a big responsibility as far as what they do. They oversee and manage the county's operation and administration. We're the public relations manager for our district. We set budget. We, distribute monies. We collaborate with different municipalities. From what I hear, Jerome, that's a big pain point right now with the communication. So the county's fighting with the city leaders, or they're not communicating together. The county really should be driving that. We're the overseers of the municipalities. So I don't think we're utilizing our role correctly in a lot of places. Some county officials do a great job in the collaborative piece, but we have to have it top down. We have to have it top down where we're building those engagements. So we owe it. It's not self-serving about us. It's about the people we serve. And if we're not doing that, I think there's a I don't know. There's we have I'll just say we have an obligation to do that as the leaders of our district. So my commitment coming in is to make sure I'm engaged with not only the residents, but make sure I'm engaged with the municipality leaders, the department leaders. Even if we don't agree, we still, you talked about this earlier, sitting at the table. We still got to sit at the table and iron out things for the greater good of the county. So we got to get past the personal stuff, whatever that is, and come together and find solutions. It's too much. It's too much at stake in what we have to do. And our jobs are so important that we owe that to the constituents. So that is my commitment going into office. And so I want to go back to the thing you talked about, accountability and holding me accountable. You should hold me accountable if I'm representing you. You should turn a blind eye. And if I'm a true leader, that shouldn't bother me. That because I'm accountable to you. I'm accountable to you as your leader. I work for you. You don't work for me. I work for you. So if there's something that now we should be able to do it respectfully, you know, or if there's a disagreement, but outside of that, yes, you should hold me accountable. I would expect that. And the biggest accountability is at election day. If I'm not doing my job, then hire somebody else to do it. Vote for someone else to do it. But but for me, I have a heart for people. I have a heart for community. I have a heart for families. And again, there has to be a balance in even in our business community because I love what the Pooler Chamber is doing out here. They're they're progressively changing this area. I don't know if you're aware, but they're progressively changing this area. My problem is when it impedes on the residents and it becomes an inconvenience. You talked about the Hyundai thing with the water earlier. That's not a fair exchange. That's not a fair exchange. I love the jobs. I love the opportunities. But it shouldn't affect the quality of life of our residents. So, so it's kind of common sense approach, and we got to have balance in that. We can't just be anti no business, no development because that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. But there has to be a balance with that. So that's my commitment to going back to your original question coming in.
Right. But let's talk about this for a second. You talk about the growth that's going on out there.
Yes.
And you hit on something a few minutes ago. You said that should they be cutting down all the trees? You know, when we were coming up in school, we were always taught that the trees were the source of oxygen.
It is.
And they cut them down faster than they can grow them. So what's happening? That is what is a part of this climate change, because we can't produce what we've been producing. And you said that should we cut them down and build new houses, build new apartments, and all that? So what is your solution to that?
So there has to be, I mean, we have to have places to live as the area grows. So there's going to be development. I'm not that naive to think that isn't going to happen. But there should be ordinance. I believe the city of Pooler has one where developers have to leave up a certain amount of trees if they want to develop, substantial land in an area because there was one point in the West Chatham and in the county, a developer would come in and just clear the land, clear all the trees. Yeah. So, and I think that kind of happened somewhat in my subdivision that I currently live in, but there should be some regulation around that. I know, to my knowledge, City of Pooler, and I know, of course, you have that in the city of Savannah, but in City of Pooler, they just enacted that law a few years back where developers can't cut down all the trees. But the land development, we do need to save our green space, because what happens if you remove earth and replace it with cement, then where's the water going to go?
Right.
If I remove Bradley Point, which is borderline, which was, from my understanding, was borderline wetlands at one point, or maybe some of it was. But, with modern day, we can fill it in with dirt and concrete and make it a developed area. But when a disaster happens, then you realize the importance, because to your point, those trees serve a purpose, whether it's oxygen, whether it's sucking up water, or shade or whatever. So there's a purpose around that. So I mean, we do, and we need people that are conscious and that understands that, and just not accepting face value of what these developers are saying. So yes, that's very important.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Orlando, we got one. I'm gonna let you do 1 minute close out, because you've been telling you told everybody everything. To give us a 1 minute statement, because we got to get out of here. But give us a 1 minute closeout statement.
Well, thank you, Brother Aaron, and everything you do. Thank you, Julius Hall, and what he's doing with this media entity that he's developed, and Dr. Brian and everybody that supports him. Again, I'm Orlando Scott. I'm running for Chatham County Commission. I just want to serve. I want to serve you, as your representative, and not just. A lot of times we think of our districts, but we set decisions and policies for the whole county. So for the greater good of Chatham County, you need someone that's engaged, that's ready to listen, that's going to be at the table, and that's going to have a common sense approach into getting things done for this critical time that we have in our county right now. So I ask your support. If you want to know more about me, I have a website, vote for, FOR, orlandoscott.com. I'm on Facebook. You check me out there, LinkedIn, whatever. But again, I'm asking for your vote. We have my seat, I'm being told, is probably one of the few seats in coastal Georgia that will be flipped from red to blue.
Okay, well, we hope that that happens. We look forward to having you in that seat. We will be right back here next week. Don't y'all forget, Saturday we will be walking to have the walk to get out the vote from MLK to Ralph Mount Gilbert Museum, and 2 o'clock we'll be riding through the city. Most of all, don't forget to check your vote. We'll talk to you next week. Next Tuesday, same time, 10 o'clock, right here on the Vulnerable Community. Bye now.
Like this.